and cosine. We're not going to be doing all the graphing by hand. Remember what we did with all the other functions, what I used to tell you about gyrations, right? Left shift, right shift, shift up, shift down, reflect and all that stuff. Well, guess what? We're going to do it with sine and cosine. Yeah, we're going to do it with sine and cosine. So the first thing I want to do is go over what the mother function, i.e. the mother function of sine and cosine look like. Okay, so here's a sine wave. Okay, so if I were to tell you that the sine wave that you see there is more than one cycle, would you understand what that means? What does that mean? To say that that's more than one cycle. Do you understand why I use the word cycle? What does that have to do with the type of function sine is? What kind of a function is sine? We talked about this earlier. One that repeats itself over and over and over again. Now, well, it is an odd function, yes, but it is beyond that. The fact that it repeats, oddness doesn't mean that it repeats itself over and over again, but there's one technical word that says that it repeats itself over and over again. Yo, anybody, beta, pay attention. Yeah, periodic. Is everybody's mark? Okay, it's a periodic function. It repeats itself over and over again. So one period is the same thing as one cycle. So for the sine function, oh, you know, yesterday some of my ex-students came in to see me, and they saw me doing this without I was doing lines like this, and they were shocked. They were shocked. I never draw lines without a straight edge. So they were actually saying that I should take a ruler here and put it on my laptop and draw it out there. So yeah, I don't want to scratch my laptop, so instead I'm going to use paint and see if I can do it in there. Ah! All right. How do I do this? Okay, so, and now how do I get tools out of here?
You made it too small.
You're kidding me. Oh, well, you know what? You know what? Okay, that's not going to work. I'm going to go back to this. Yeah. I did what? I wasted 10 seconds?
You gave up so much.
Oh, yeah, just too frustrating to do this. But no, I'm going to get a straight edge on this. I mean, I hate drawing those things the way I do. They look really pathetic. Insert a what? In here? In the actual Word document? Insert a tool button? Yeah, I know it's there. It's there, but I got to do it when it's full screen. I see it there. I mean, I did use a toolbar yesterday when I was practicing on it. But it looks like I need the whole screen to see the toolbar. Okay, well, we digress. So here's your y-axis. Here's your x-axis. Okay? So the way sine works is you really want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, which are what I call the feature points. Okay? So the first feature point is sine of 0, which is 0. Okay? The next feature point is sine of 90, which is equal to what? It's 1. Sine of 90 is 1. You can see it out there. Okay? That's 1. So right there is 1. And right here is minus 1. So sine of 90, so this is 90, or how many radians? Pi over 2, nice. So that's 0. And then the next one is pi, which is how many degrees? 180. Okay, or pi radians. And then the next one is 270, or 3 pi over 2. Okay. And then the last one is a 0, and that is 360 or 2 pi. 360 or 2 pi. So if you look at the graph, it looks like this. This is the mother sine function. Okay, the mother sine function. And that is one cycle. That is one cycle or one period. Okay, one period. Guys with me on this? Okay. So you can see that what I've got are the quadrantal angles: 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. So using those ideas, can you do me one cycle of a cosine function? Do me one cycle of a cosine function. Okay. So what you can see is that Josh drew this part, so from here all the way up to there, rather. Okay, up to 360. Right, so that's what you drew. Okay, that's one cycle. All right. Okay, so everybody get the mother cosine? All right. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the amplitude of a sine in a cosine function. Okay, so can you guys draw those in your notes, and then I'll talk about it. Can you see the words amplitude in there on the screen? Can you see that? Can you read that okay? All right. Okay, it's got two graphs. One is 2 cosine x. Okay, that's the red one. And then the blue one is 1/2 sine x. Okay, 1/2 sine x. So if I were to ask you what does amplitude stand for, what do you think what should you say? What's the amplitude of a sine or a cosine? There are two ways you can answer this question, okay? Either by looking at the equation or by looking at the diagram. So let's talk about the first way. What do you think is the amplitude by looking at the equation? And you don't have to put it in technical terms. You can put it in layman's terms. It's okay. Sorry? It's too specifically in this example? Yes. But can you state it in a different way? So, you know, if it wasn't 2, say if it was some number, could you state it in a more general way as to what the amplitude of a sine or cosine is? Yeah, exactly. It's the coefficient of the cosine of the sine term. Or if you want to put it really in layman's term, it'd be the number in front of the sine or the cosine. Okay, or really the absolute value of that number. Okay, is everybody on that? Does everybody see that? And then how about graphically? How would you define amplitude graphically? If you were to look at that graph, how would you define amplitude graphically? Okay, that might be a little hard for you to say. So the amplitude is really the height from, in this particular